Hello. Welcome to episode 23 of the Productive Wellbeing Show. I am so excited today to be joined on the show by the amazing Michael Kurn. Now, Michael Kurn is a TV presenter. He is also an author. He is an entrepreneur. And we are going to have such a motivational, inspirational conversation with Michael today. Now, as you're joining, please say hi. Let us know where you're joining from. If you're watching on the replay, say replay. And wherever you're joining from, please let us know where you are. And finally, if you've got any questions, leave the questions in the comments because I can see you all on LinkedIn. And if you give me permission, I can see you on Facebook as you join us there. So we can make this an interactive session. Michael, thank you so much for being here today.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
So awesome. And even in these lockdown, restricted isolation times, we can still catch up and connect. I love it.
Yeah, completely. It's one thing we're really blessed with, right? The technology we've got at our hands. You know, we can keep in touch and no one's too far away, which is always nice.
Yeah. Amazing. Right. Let's dive into this. So ordinarily, you would be standing on the side of a pitch, a football pitch, a hockey pitch, because you're a sports commentator, right?
Yeah.
Sport, everybody is in lockdown. What are you doing with your time? And what does life look like in Michael Kurn's world right now?
Right, it's a little bit crazy. So a little bit of everything. The first 3 weeks of lockdown weren't too bad for me because I'm busy working on a new project. So I've just written another book. This one is different from the motivational side of things. This one is all about my football team, Southampton. I had the privilege of interviewing 21 players pre-lockdown. So I used those first 3 weeks to get the book written, get it off to the printers, and ironically they've all just arrived today, so my office is now full of stacks of books, which is great, and that launches on the 9th of May. So that kept me busy initially. I've been very lucky with TalkSport. They've been looking after me, so I've still got my shows on there twice a month and sometimes a little bit more, which is lovely. So that's been keeping me busy, and then ultimately just staying home, following the government guidance, staying safe, doing a bit of gardening, which has always been enjoyable, and getting the lawnmower out and making the most of the nice weather. I'm very fortunate to have a back garden, so I made the most of the sunshine at the weekend, and just kind of keeping busy, trying to volunteer where I can. Obviously there's lots of people that are really trying to help out where they can, so I've been very fortunate that through the Saints Foundation at Southampton Football Club, they've got a really cool link with a company called FareShare, who distribute food and food parcels to the local community. So once a week I'm going over to their warehouse and basically picking loads of shopping, which is really cool. It's almost like working at Sainsbury's. It's great. You go around this massive warehouse and you have like this massive shopping list, and it's nice to kind of give back. But it's been a weird kind of time, a real adjustment. But at the same time, in a weird kind of way, I've enjoyed that opportunity to refocus without distractions, as difficult and as horrible as this situation is for so many people. You know, it's I'm always one to try and stay positive, and you know, I said to you before we came on now, I've been very blessed so far. No one I know in my family has got COVID-19, and I've been very fortunate that I don't know anyone yet that sadly lost their lives. So for me, I haven't had that real connection with it yet. So it's kind of been just trying to stay positive, follow the guidance, and keep everyone safe around me, and just try and remain positive, really, because the media, I thought, were brilliant for the first 2 weeks. They were so positive and really behind Boris and the government, and now they're just trying to pick it all apart. And it's like, come on, yes, we've got to ask those questions to make sure things are done properly, but there's a way of asking them. And I think there's a lot of like scaremongering, and I think that's a real danger as well as getting that information out. But luckily that wonderful former soldier is doing amazing, isn't he? Raised, I think he's up to nearly 15 million now. It's incredible. I made a little donation last night, so it's it's incredible that there's some amazing acts of positivity and caring and giving back that's happening. And one thing for me is I really hope this carries on when we get out of lockdown. You know, I hope this kind of connection and community spirit is something that's been rekindled and will kind of stay around for a lot longer.
Amazing. So I am so excited that so as I said at the top, Michael is an author, right? So Michael, this is Michael's first book, Desire, Dream, Vision, which is what's on his hat, DDV. Yeah. And if you follow me on Instagram, I had a bit of a tongue twister trying to say it yesterday, but I thought I'd leave it in because, you know, it's funny to be real and authentic, right?
100%.
But so this is a signed copy of Michael's book, and what Michael and I have discussed is that you can win this copy of this book. All you need to do is like, comment and share today's interview with Michael, and you will be in with a chance to win this book. And this book will be sanitized before it is sent in the post, and it will arrive in the correct with all of the applications to the government guidance. So don't worry about that, but it would be so awesome for one of you to win this book. Now, Michael, talk to us. So where attention goes, energy flows. And obviously there is a ton of information out there. Everybody has an opinion about everything. You know what they say about opinions. Anyway, what can these 3 words, how can these 3 words help us change our life and change our experience as we grow rather than go, as we grow through this lockdown, COVID-19 challenging time? How can we use your DDV to come out of this, come out of the other side, whatever words you want to use, as the best versions of ourselves?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, desire, dream, vision is a philosophy that I've implemented on my life from about 13, really. And it was kind of very subconscious for a very long period. I was massively inspired by Muhammad Ali growing up, an amazing guy, not just 3 times heavyweight world champion boxer, but the things he stood for from a humanitarian point of view, with fighting against segregation in America and dealing with racism over there. He was incredible, and the things he did for charity were awesome, massive inspiration for me. And he had this quote, which is, champions aren't made in gyms, they're made from something deep inside, a desire, a dream, and a vision. You've got to have the skill and the will, but the will must be stronger than the skill. And I kind of saw this on like a poster when I was a kid, and I wrote it on a post-it note and stuck it on my mirror because I wanted to be a footballer at that point. So that was my motivation every day. It was like, okay, come on, I might not be the most skillful, but I've got the will to make this happen. And that really inspired me. So DDV, desire, dream, vision, were just the 3 words: desire it, dream about it, visualize it. And that kind of led to discovering all these amazing motivational speakers, and then putting together like mood boards and really cool things. And I've got one right in front of me I'm looking at, which is basically loads of historical figures that really inspire me. And that is part of what the dream is, you know, and desire it and visualize it. All these people had a dream, from Walt Disney, Muhammad Ali, P.T. Barnum, like Winston Churchill, Barack Obama, like all those kind of people, Oprah Winfrey.
So let's bring it back. Sorry to interrupt you. Let's bring this back to us.
Yeah,
what
for sure.
can we specifically do right now? We've got the weekend coming, depending on when you're listening to this. We've got these lockdown weekends. So how do we apply this desire? So are we supposed to think about what we want our life to look like versus how it is right now? How do we physically, in a nutshell, ABC?
No, for sure. Yeah, so completely. So basically for me, desire, dream, vision is desire it, dream about it, visualize it. So for me, you write down, what do you want? What do you want your life to be? Is there a particular element of your life you want to improve? Is it a personal or business perspective? And for me, okay, I really want that. So I want to desire it. So I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to imagine me being part of that. Okay, so what does it feel like to achieve that goal? What does it feel like? And then you visualize it. Okay, well, how I'm going to get there. So for me, it's like a step process, in the sense of, okay, desire it, dream about it, visualize it. This is what I want to achieve. That's what I really need to really desire this. I really want this. I want to dream about it. This is how it's going to feel. And then that enables you to make your plan. And that's a big thing for me. So write it down, and have a plan. Like if you're going to go on a car journey, or maybe you're not at the moment, or a walk or something like that, you're going to have a map. You know, you don't just get in the car and all of a sudden miraculously appear the other end. So for me, this is a great opportunity to draw a roadmap. And part of the DDV plan philosophy is having that plan. So for me, it's kind of, what's the end goal? What's the beginning point? And then break it up into small, medium, and big steps. So what are those small things that you could be doing right now this weekend that's going to get you one step closer to the medium step, which is going to get you even closer to the big goal? Now, the big goal might be something that you will achieve in 12 months time, in 2 years time, 3 years time. I saw a great video with Gary Vee the other day, who was saying that, you know, overnight, I think it's Rob Moore as well, said it, that overnight success isn't 10 years anymore. Overnight success is maybe 3 or 4 years. So, you know, you can make things happen. And this is a really good time where we're in lockdown. We still have choice, but we don't have as much choice as we had. So yes, we are in this weekend. Don't go out, do what the government says. And you can really make that plan. What do you want? Do you need to learn a new skill? Just utilizing your time effectively, making that plan. So those small steps might be, okay, well, I want to open a new business. My business currently is really being affected by COVID-19. Can I take my business online? How do I do that? What do I need to do? So can you then go on YouTube and find a seminar of how to get an Amazon store going? Can you go online and learn a new skill? There's some amazing platforms out there. There's a real cool thing called Masterclass, which is wicked. So you can go on there and watch some inspirational videos and how other people have done it. So for me at the moment, I'm discovering, what is it? Okay, what do I truly want right now? What do I want to achieve? How do I make it happen? Let's make a plan. Let's go for it. Part of the DDV philosophy is sacrifice. We're all making a tremendous sacrifice right now to stay in and save lives. So let's use that sacrifice that we're making now to save lives to enhance us. And when COVID-19 is gone, let's continue this journey. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing, as you say.
So I guess what I'm hearing you say then is that we do our research. However, we do our research finding people who inspire us on the social channels, in educational programs that we can access online. So we research, and that helps us to identify what we desire. Then
completely.
Once we've done this research, Andy Parks is saying Enterprise Nation is a great place. If you're an entrepreneur, Enterprise Nation has got loads of resources there. So then we're doing our research, that's helping us to desire. And then I guess we're looking at the lives of others, how it's portrayed online, and that's helping us to dream. Yeah. And then how do you visualize? Specifically, what do you do when you visualize? Do you visualize when you're on your run? Do you visualize when you're gardening, when you're cooking a meal? What does visualization look like for you?
All the time. Like literally, I've got, as I mentioned about, pictures of inspirational people, like on my desk, I've got pictures of the things I want to achieve. My mood board is always kind of around my consciousness. And even when I'm going on a run, like I listen to such bizarre music choice. So at the minute, I'm really obsessed by Alexander Hamilton, who was one of the founding fathers in America. A really cool musical called Hamilton, and it's an amazing story. And his story helps me visualize where I want to get to. This guy was an immigrant from the Caribbean whose dad was Scottish, his mum was from the Caribbean, and he came to America and created financial systems we're still using now. So a lot of those stories of other people help me visualize what I want to achieve. If this guy can come from this place in the Caribbean and his mum died when he was a kid and can go and be one of the founding fathers of America, there is nothing stopping me. So that visualization process for me comes in forms like that of listening to other people's stories.
Proof of what people have done before. So are you seeing yourself? So say something that's on your vision board. Are you seeing yourself? You're sort of closing your eyes and you can see yourself, feel yourself, hear yourself in that place.
100%. So there's
receiving that reward.
100%. So there's a song in Hamilton called My Shot. I'm young, scrappy and hungry. This is my one shot, just like my country. I'm going to make it happen. So for me, as I'm running along, I'm kind of imagining, right, this is my shot. What do I want? And one of my massive things on my mood board, which has been a massive personal goal for me, is to one day own an Aston Martin. So it seems for some people that'll be like, what the hell is that a dream for? But everyone's different, and I love what everyone's different ambitions are. So for me, when I'm on my run, I'm kind of visualizing. I've driven a few. I've been so lucky. A friend of mine used to work for them. So I'm on my run. I'm like, right, okay, let's use this moment now. What do I really want? One of the things on the mood board's the car. I know what it feels like to drive. I visualized it. How does it feel? Right, let's make it happen. And then I put that back into the dream and the plan, and I go, okay, well, I want to get this particular car. It's worth X, Y, and Z. How many books do I have to sell to make that happen? Okay, well, if I can sell this volume of books, this is my margin in them, I can then make this. So then it becomes a plan, and you then it turns into a business, which then becomes the progression to help you realize that dream.
So here's a real left-wing question that we haven't discussed, but I feel like from everything that you're saying, I just want to ask you, and maybe the answer is I don't know right now. Has your vision for the future changed over the last 4 or 5 weeks? Is your vision board, are things moving around? Are new things being added?
I think from a personal perspective, my mood board hasn't changed. I've been more determined to achieve it. I think the biggest thing that's affected me and been the change in the last few weeks is actually the realization of the people around you. Because I think team, which is part of DDV, is a massive thing, the people you surround yourself with. And that's been a big thing that's been the change for me, because that is part of DDV, the people you surround yourself with. And it's been really interesting, the people that have reached out to me, the people that haven't reached out to me, which has been a massive one for me. So actually the mood board necessarily hasn't changed, but there's been a change and a shift within me of like, this is on me even more now. No one really gives a hoot about you apart from you. You know, you've got that real close family around you, and the close friends that, you know, that I've spoken to that have messaged me. I'm always the first person to check in with people, and I just have a real barometer of, well, have they messaged me back? Not that it's a competition, but it's a two-way street. You know, look, I'm really conscious of making sure people are okay, and I'll ping messages out, are you all right? Some haven't messaged me back, some have, and it's been a real gauge. So for me, it's even from a business perspective over these last few weeks, as you said, there's no sport. So I've had contracts with lots of people that people have just gone, well, there's no sport, we can't help you. So as a freelancer, there's been a real evaluation of how do I control me and I control my business, and how do I regain more control of that, and I control my destiny, not allowing it in other people's hands. So that's been the shift for me. Not so the mood board's changed, but the desire, I guess might be the right word to use, the desire to achieve it has been more onus on myself, and right, well, let's make this happen.
Yeah, and I guess Michael made two really valid points there, and maybe some of you who are watching this live or watching on the replay can identify with it, that over the sort of, it didn't necessarily probably happen overnight. I would say, like, we've been in lockdown in the UK for about 4 weeks now, other countries probably coming up for 5. So we've had a chance to start to reevaluate. I call it like who's who and what's what. So, and not necessarily from, who was it who said you are, Jim Rohn, you are the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who in your circle is adding value, who is taking value? And it's kind of an opportunity for all of us to reevaluate, and not in a Machiavellian way, if you didn't do this for me, but I tend to believe that you only really know a person in adversity. That it's only when the chips are down and things are going wrong that you start to see people's true character. And some people, the leadership role is rising in them, and they're not necessarily currently in a leadership role. And other people in leadership roles are not leading how a leader would lead. So I think it's a really interesting melting pot time for people to start to really evaluate who's who in my circle. Are they adding value to me? And from this work point of view, who am I working with that's raising me up? Who am I working for? Some of you, you know, you're professionals, some of you in organizations. How is this organization supporting me? And do I feel like we're on the same page now? Maybe we're not. A big sort of conversation that comes up with people is around purpose. Is this fulfilling my purpose? I don't feel like I know what's going on anymore. And I think it is such a valuable exercise to spend time to go through that, to think, and maybe write it down, and maybe do some of the exercises in Michael's book about dreaming of, okay, this is what's happening. What would you like your life to look like instead? Because we have that power, don't we? Whatever is happening to us externally, we have that power to change it externally.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and this is a real good chance, right? You know, I said to a friend a little while ago, right at the start of lockdown, I said, how many times have we turned around to each other and said, I could really do with a month off, 2 months off, to just reevaluate and take a check? You know, and obviously this is completely not the circumstances that we would have liked to have taken time off. But then we're being in this position now, and sometimes you achieve the best things when you're forced into doing it. You know, for me, it was kind of, I've got 3 weeks, let's get this book written, you know, and let's just do it. And that was, I'd kind of had 5 weeks to do it. I did it in 3. And for me, that was a massive kind of push. My printer pushed back my date even closer to get it printed in time, you know. So for me, there was a lot of kind of factors that forced me to make the change, which has been incredible. But yeah, no, completely right. This is a real opportunity to really evaluate. And yeah, I think you are the master of your destiny at the end of the day. I think everyone's discovering that with jobs, there's some amazing leaders out there that are making sure people are looked after well. There's others that aren't, and I think that's an important time to, like you've just pointed out quite rightly, look at those people around you. Are they bringing you what you want from a personal perspective, but also from a business perspective as well? Because you're in charge of this destiny. You're the only one that's responsible for it. So yeah, 100%.
And that's one of the amazing things. We've got some people who are joining us from around the world. We've got Karima, who is here from Germany, and she's saying sunny greetings from Germany. Hi.
Hello. Guten Tag, is that right? Hello, Guten Tag, German. I did German in school. I think that's the right hello, isn't it? Guten Tag.
Yeah, I didn't study. I studied French, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm terrible in most languages. And Julia Schmidt is saying, dream, believe, achieve. Yeah, that totally is. Well, that's my three. But Michael's desire, dream, vision. So I love these Friday sessions, because this is always about having speakers on or having guests on who are in this sort of place of educating themselves in a different world and a different way of being, and how to live in a different way, and then sharing this then back with us as their version of it. Because this age-old phrase, there's nothing new under the sun, but everybody resonates with different people, different messages, different speakers. We can all be saying exactly the same thing, but you resonate with different people. So it's so awesome to have Michael on the show today. Now, Michael, tell us where these guys can find out more about you.
Cool. So I'm on social media, Instagram, Facebook, so just at Michael Kurn. And then to find out more about the book and Desire Dream Vision is just desiredreamvision.com.
Amazing. And we said at the start that this is a signed copy of Michael's book that you can win. To win this book, write in the comments what this conversation has meant for you from a desiring, dreaming, visioning point of view. We're going to give you some time for those of you that catch up with these on the replay, and we'll be announcing the winner of this on Monday next week, which will be episode 24 for those of you who are sort of catching up in episodes. But there we go. Thank you so much for your time today, Michael. It's been awesome to have this conversation. Thank you guys for joining us. See you again on Monday. On Monday, we have got the amazing Lucy Brazier joining us. I'm so excited for that conversation. Until then, stay safe, stay well, wash your hands, and see you on Monday.